Hello everyone and welcome to today's class. I'll be showing you how to design a very simple quotes flyer. So when you go over to your Pixel Lab, you should have already imported your picture. This is my already imported picture that I'm going to be working with. So you can just import your own. Then I'm going to lock it. So this is what I'm going to be working now. The first thing I'm going to do is go to text and type in whatever quotes that I have. So I already have something copied, so I'm just going to paste it over there. Alright. So now the next thing to do is go to colors and change the color to black because the original color is usually grey. So we want the color to be black. Alright, now this is what we're going to be working with. So first I'm just going to lock it, then make it invisible. Now I want to show you how you can do a glass morphism effect. So now this image is already here. All you have to do is just, let me save it. Save as image. When you're saving your image, always use PNG and Ultra format. So save to gallery. The image has been saved. Now go over to shapes and reduce the radius of the shape to about, let me check it first. So you can reduce the radius of the shape to 7%. This is okay. Increase it a bit. Yeah, this is okay. So just go to relative position and make sure it is centralized by using this particular icon. So you use this to make sure it is centralized. Now once that has been done, just go back to layers and click on this eye to make it less visible. Now go to transparent. So this is what you have. So you're going to save this as image. Alright, so now once that has been saved, you can just go back to layers and make this visible, then click this out. So I'm going to quickly go to my Snapseed and show you how you can create the glass morphism effect. So a Snapseed now, you can just tap anywhere to open a picture. So we're going to tap on the picture that we saved recently. This is it. Now go to tools and lens blur. Okay, this is lens blur. So you tap on lens blur. So I'm just going to tap, hold your screen and pinch, close, pinch your screen. You just have to pinch your screen. Okay, if you pinch it to open it, you can pinch it to close it. So just drag this also away from the main image. Try to put it away from the image. So I'm gonna have to do something like this. Okay, let's put it up here since we don't really need that side. So blur strength, you can increase the blur strength to anyhow you want it to be, but I'm just going to make it like around 50. Alright, so you click the check mark. When you're done with that, click on export. Okay, now that is done, you can go back to Pixel Lab, and this is the next thing. So in Pixel Lab, I want to click this out, then bring this back, make it visible, import, and next we're going to bring in this image, this square. Now when you're doing this, do not alter anything, do not try to crop anything or anything, just touch this, just tap on this big white circle. So you can just drag it like this. This is exactly where it was. So now go back to layers and make sure you lock that. Then you're going to go to texture. Okay, once you get to texture, you tap on the image that you blurred, which is this image. You're not going to crop anything, just leave it the way it is. Then you click on the check mark, and this is what you have. Now it has given you a particular effect based on what is here. Okay, now that I've gotten our glass morphism effect, the next thing to do is just go back to your layers and work and lock it, but we're going to work on it. So I'll go ahead to go over to stroke. I have a stroke to it so it comes out where you can increase the stroke to any amount you want. Just going to reduce the stroke a bit. Okay, I think stroke width should be 2, that's enough. So moving on now, you can go back to layers and make this visible. So it says even the smallest progress is still progress, so keep going. Alright. Now copy it, and when you're copying it, just crop out the parts that we're not going to use first. And make it capital letters when you're using it. So now we're going to centralize it using grid lines. This is where the grid lines are, so you tap on them and make sure it is centralized. Okay. You can use it to position it however you want it to be. So I'm just going to increase the size to this. So that means everything I'm going to write should be in this particular space between this point. Everything I'm going to write should be between this point and this point. Okay. The font I'll be using is the Montserrat font. So I'm going to use the Montserrat regular. Then tap on OK. So this is the font. It's already centralized between this point and it's already been centralized between this point and this point. Alright, now we are done with that. We can just go ahead and copy this. I'm going to get the full text back. So I'm just going to go back to fonts. I'm using the Montserrat font for this design. So I'm going to use the Montserrat bold. You could just make it bold here. Then reduce the size so it's at this same point, the 2 points you want it to be. So you reduce the size and you can leave it like that. So just to go back to position and try to move it up a bit. Now the next thing is even the smallest progress. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm going to copy this smallest. Now go back to font and remove the boldness from it. So we get to use medium and type in the word progress. So make sure to always reduce the size so that it could be aligned with these 2 points that we need here, this and this. Now the next, you copy it again and type in the next word. Just make sure to increase the size so that it's at the same point. So we're going to make this one bold. So go back to fonts and select bold. So you can see that it's a bit out of the point, so you just reduce the size again so it can be inside the point, not out of the point. The next one, go ahead and copy progress. Just put it back. Alright, now we're done with this. We're just going to we're done with the quotes, and the next thing to do now is you can go over to import to add an Instagram icon and also your Instagram handle. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Alright, make sure that once you've added that it is well centralized. So you just have to click the both of them. You tap on both this. Use the relative position to make it centralized. Right now it's centralized, that's why it's not moving anymore. So I'm going to change the color of this to blue because we don't want to leave it in black and white, just to make it look nice a bit. So change it to this color blue. I'm going to use this color. So this is the color code, so you can use the exact same color code and you can use the exact same color code when you're designing. And the color this is teal. So this is basically everything. You just go ahead and save your image. And don't forget, when you're saving it, always use the PNG and the Ultra format. So you save it to gallery and you can go over to Snapseed to edit the image and show you how you can just do a very simple edit on it. So you open, you tap on the image. So this is the image. No, not this one. Sorry, wrong image. This is the image. So I'm just going to give it a grainy film to make it stand out more. So you go over to grainy film. Now when you use it, that's different filters, but we're not going to use any of the filters. So this is what you do. Try to move your hand, slide your hand up and down your screen. So when you slide it up, this is what comes out. Okay, so you can just reduce the style strength to remove the filter to 0. Then you go to green and you can increase the green. You can see it. You can increase the green to something like this, or you reduce it. Well, this is a bit too much. We're just going to reduce it to 50. So when you're done with that, go to tools, click on details, and just make it add a little structure and sharpening. So that's basically everything. Now you're done with this simple clothes flyer that you can post on your social media. Oh, sorry, forgot to do something. You don't want to leave progress here on the thumb, so you're just going to go back like this and try to move it up a bit. Alright, so this is basically what we're trying to achieve. So snaps it and just repeat the previous process. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in my next class. Bye.